I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
If I allow myself to go down into that place, I'll never come back.
I am vengeance. I am the Knight. I am Batman!
And here we go.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Yo, how we doing today, Rob?
We're doing fantastic, bud. How are you doing?
Good, folks. Welcome to the Batman Pod, the Batman show about nothing but Batman. My name is Matthew Venieri, aka the $1,000 Bruce Wayne. Why? Because Bruce Wayne's a billionaire, and on a good week, I have maybe $1,000 in there. And across from me is my co-host, fellow Bat fanatic, and illustrator and collector and all things Bat, Rob, Chris Ripsky, whatever you want to call him, Chris or Rob.
Yo, what's happening? I think we already established that, but how you doing again?
It's okay to ask people a couple times, you know. Maybe they didn't get it at first. We do have a packed show on our second episode, The Batmen Who Strike Back.
Like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of came up with it, figured I'd run with it. I'm sure it's been done 1,000 times before, but hey, again, folks, thank you for joining us. We really don't know what we're doing, but we do know that we talk about Batman, and there's lots to talk about this week. And I think without further ado, we're just going to get right into it. So, Chris, Rob, we did get a big press release on the Batman coming out to 4K Blu-ray and regular Blu-ray. So if you want to kind of give us a scoop on what happened there and what you did personally for your collection.
That right after Batman got released on HBO, that they released the press for physical media. And well, if you can believe it, Best Buy's probably got the best deal so far, or the best bang for your buck. They have the 4K Steelbook if you're into that kind of thing. If you're into physical media like me, the few out there, you're going to love this. We have a steel book that's in black with some simplistic art on the front, with Batman and a question mark on the front. And on the back, we have just the Riddler's logo and some design on the back as well. And then we just had the standard Blu-ray, which is the movie poster with all the characters on the front, as you've probably seen when you went to go see the movie. And then, DVD. But who the fuck buys DVDs anymore?
Yeah, I'm wondering when they're going to have that media fully, sunset.
Right.
So during post-production, folks, we will have the pictures of this material up there. And as we talk about things throughout the show, that's just a little disclaimer. We will have the pictures on the actual YouTube channel so you can see what we're talking about as we describe it. So I got to get your opinion on the Steelbook. I think we kind of briefly talked about it when it first was released here, the imagery. Not the best Steelbook release from Best Buy, in my opinion. I was really hoping for some unique art that maybe we hadn't seen yet. I'm very simplistic when it comes to the art, though. I don't like too much. But however, this one just didn't do anything for me, and that was very disappointing. So I'm hoping that there's going to be some sort of crazy like Ultimate Edition release in the future, and that's what I'll pick up. I'm okay with having it on HBO Max right now and just being able to watch it at my leisure. But yeah, for me, the Steelbook and the regular release at this time is a pass. Rob, how about you?
I love Steelbooks, all that fun stuff. If you follow the Steelbooks on Best Buy, you need to get them when they're hot, because when they sell out, they go on eBay for like $100. So I just kind of buy into the FOMO and the hype, and I just got it. Am I the biggest fan? No, not really either. They usually go for a more fantastical element, like over the top artwork. I got the Spider-Man Far From Home 2 weeks ago, Steelbook, and that thing is crazy looking. It's like a splash page wrapped from front to back of the Steelbook. But this one is just, I think that was like the Hot Topic logo they were going with. But what I was going to stress on was, in this movie, they really pushed the red. It's like when that press release first happened, it was red, So I was hoping, and I'm currently in graphic design, going to school for graphic design. They always emphasize the bleed. You should use the bleed. So I was just hoping maybe since they push the red so much, instead of going for a black steel book, maybe to have a red steel book and have it bleed into the image. That would have been cool for me.
You did pre-order it though, correct?
I did.
You're a sucker for the steelbooks. That's great. You have a pretty big steelbook collection, correct?
Yeah, I just go after the movies I really love on steelbook though. I just won't get anything random on steelbook, like like the real good ones. I got a decent collection, but the Blu-ray collection is king right now.
Do you have any steelbooks that bring a pretty penny currently that you know of?
As of right now, not currently. I think the Psycho steelbook was going for like $80, $90 at one point. But it's always good maybe just I don't want to be that kind of person, but buy two of them and then have one for you, and then you can just sell one later. Like when now that I'm thinking about it, when Black Widow came out, I got to hit on steelbook. I know, of all movies, but I just liked it because my wife was on the back, her sister.
That's pretty incredible.
So,
congrats.
Thanks. We haven't announced it yet, but I guess I'm gonna do it right here.
Perfect.
No, but when that came out, dude, I bought that, $35. Next week on eBay, $100. Just couldn't believe it. So, and when I got that Spider-Man Far From Home, I got that for $35. It's on eBay right now for $100. So there's still a craze for this physical media out there. Echo.
Yeah, there definitely is, and that is. I've kind of dubbed down my physical media collection to only absolute top movies for me. I do have the complete steelbook of Star Wars, though, except actually, I think the latest movie I never actually ended up getting, so I don't have the complete collection. I know Rogue One was a hot one, though, and I remember having to pay a little bit of a premium on eBay to make sure I got it because it was sold out very, very quickly. But yeah, I mean, I get it. They're unique. They are a cool collector's item. But yeah, unfortunately for me, this current release for Batman was definitely a pass. But continuing in the news section, which is going to kind of bleed over into our next section, excuse me, which is the collecting section. We did get a release of a new Hot Toys, Batman Hot Toys, that is. And it kind of has some history between the two of us. So Rob, why don't you kind of give people a bit of a background on what Hot Toys is and this current figure that they are re-releasing and how it kind of ties us together again.
Man, so we're gonna go back. Let's dial the clocks back.
Let's go in the DeLorean.
Yeah. So when we first started hanging out, I'd come over, we'd watch movies or whatever, and I would come over and go in your room, and I just look around, and it's like, holy shit, it's a goddamn museum in here. And I wasn't familiar with Sideshow, wasn't familiar with Hot Toys, I've seen statues in the past, but I just didn't know they were that mega mainstream. So if you had, top-notch collection, I would just go in there and just be in awe every time, And you would have, whatever's current or whatever was coming out, Batman. You had like every Dark Knight statue available. Maybe not all of them, but the 1/6 at least. You had a lot of 1/6 figures. And that just kind of opened my eyes going, dude, this is crazy. Like I really want to get into this. So I kind of dipped my toes in it, and I didn't get as much as crazy as you did into it because it just kind of became really costly. But down the road, you had a 1/4 Joker and Enter Bay. You're like, hey man, I'm just gonna sell this. You want this? I'm like, yeah, please. And it's in my living room now. It's still one of the best things I own. So thank you because of that. So yeah, by me being I don't even want to say that. By me just okay, I'll say it. It's gonna sound weird, but it's not. by me being exposed to your collection, it just kind of opened my eyes to what's out there and what I can get my hands on. So, I've kind of collected a few Batman things here and there, and we can go about that as time goes on. But I kind of digress. But so this new current one that's coming out, I just kind of thought, yeah, it's just a cash grab. It's just another Batman because they have, what do you think? 4, 6 of these variations out?
Yeah, I mean, in that suit, and to cover a little bit more. So the 1/4 Dark Knight Rises Batman is what we're going to be talking about today. Or is it actually, it's the Dark Knight?
Yeah,
Correct?
the one
The Dark
that's
Knight.
coming out.
Well,
Yeah.
they have a quarter scale as well coming out.
Yeah.
So the re-release of the one that we got. But I remember you seeing that Batman figure when I first got it. I don't think you could get it out of your head. You had to have it. And if I'm not mistaken, you found it on eBay from a local dealer or a guy that was selling it from his house, and you actually went to pick that figure up, correct?
Yeah, shout out to Joe. I actually got him to subscribe for us 3 days ago. So thanks, Joe. Yeah. That 1/4. We were waiting for like 2 years for that to come out. It felt like forever. And then when it kept getting delayed at least 4 or 5 times. We would send messages back and forth, like, again, really? So then it finally came out. I think it was kind of like in the fall of 2012, around there. And, go to eBay and everything's so much money. Well, it actually wasn't as much money as shit is now.
Yeah.
It's crazy now.
Well,
But
that's the thing with those hot toys. It kind of goes back to your steelbook collecting. If you don't grab them right away and people are not familiar with the re-release anytime soon, they're going to pay a premium for it. I mean, kind of off Batman, but there's a Captain America hot, or not hot. Well, it is a Hot Toys, but it's a Toy Fair. It's the first Avenger variant where he's got the leather jacket on. Believe it or not, I had it at one point and then sold it, and now I want it again. And it is just an insane amount of money. We're talking $800 to $1,000 for a 1/6 scale figure, and it's just like we talked about a little bit. They usually do re-release the figures at some point. And I am just waiting for that figure to be re-released with a new body, new sculpt of some sort. And that's the other thing too, is they don't just re-release these figures in their original release format. Hot Toys is always making changes and delivering a figure that kind of makes you question, oh, should I maybe get this upgraded version? And Rob, you can speak to that a little bit more, because there is obviously the quarter scale that we talked about, and obviously the 1/6 I think just actually released, and there's some reviews coming up. So can you speak a little bit about those reviews that you've seen?
So it gets tricky out there because, I was on sideshow.com yesterday. Sideshow.com is the website where you can get all these crazy statues and collectibles. I went on there last night because here's the thing: you go to YouTube and people have these reviews out, but then you go to Sideshow and it's not even released yet. So I'm like, how are people getting these? I watched this guy's video last night. I think the guy's name is Justin Collectibles,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken.
Give them a follow. It's the very entertaining channel if you guys have the time.
Yeah, definitely. If you're into 1/6 figures and stuff like that, he really does in-depth reviews. But I wasn't really sold on this thing. I thought it was just another cash grab, and then I watched his review and I was like, shit, I might have to get this. It's dead on. The cowl is the best it's ever looked. If you look at the details of the suit, there's things narrowed down and more accurate. The cape is better. The cape's a little long, but it's just a cape. You won't really see the cape that much if you display it forward. But man, this guy's reviews alone sold me on it, and I don't know. So my point is, it's still up for pre-order on Sideshow. It's not even out yet. So it says it should, Sideshow has their window. It said it should be out from April to June. So we'll see that. And it's actually one of the most, they've really upped their prices in the past 5 years, haven't they? Like ridiculous. But it's actually decent price. It's I swear it was $275 2 days ago. and as of last night, it's $290. So,
Yeah, I mean, supply and demand, and they're probably getting low on stock, so they're going to up that price. Which, I mean, I can't, don't quote me on this, but I don't remember them ever doing that in the past. Now I think collecting, just like most things, has probably boomed quite a bit. And people know what Hot Toys is now. I think back when I started, it was still kind of like, what the heck is this? Where are these figures coming from? And what a weird name. Yeah, they're probably low on stock, so they're gonna, charge you about another $15 for the final pre-orders, especially with the stock coming in any day now. And that's one thing about Hot Toys and Sideshow is they put these pre-orders up way in advance. Obviously, the Batman 2022 figure was put up for pre-order. I pre-ordered it in day one, but who knows when I'll actually get it at this point. They do have payment plans, which is great. That's what obviously helps. The earlier you pre-order it, the less you have to pay over time, which is always a huge plus because the figures are a premium price. But yeah, I mean, they put the release dates as soon as they're up for pre-order. The release dates are usually a year or more out. So sometimes, or I've definitely done in the past where it's been like, oh man, I don't really want this figure anymore. And then you just cancel, which is a great thing. And I think they get it. I think that's why they allow you to do that. Because they did add a down payment, kind of like a deposit. So if you do cancel, they still get some sort of money. But they also know that these figures are in pretty high demand. So even if you cancel, I'm sure there's somebody that'll scoop it right up. So
they seem like they're fair, right? Because some other websites, they really get you with the payment plans. Like some of these websites payment plans, you pay more than the actual figure would be in the course of a year.
Yeah, absolutely. They do definitely make it fair market value, and they want to make sure that they take care of the collector because, even more so in today's world, it's very hard to be able to balance, having the ability to buy a figure like that, so they try to make it as easy as possible for us to be able to continue that hobby. So, but
yeah, COVID hasn't helped either, because that one Iron Man Battle Damage I've had my eye on for like 3 years, and that thing is still up for pre-order.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's about the time. It should be soon, where that will actually be at the warehouse and ready to ship. And who knows, it could be sold out. I did finally put up that Captain America from Avengers with Thor's hammer. Finally, it's pretty sweet though. But that's a whole nother topic of discussion. So let's continue on here. For continued news, there was a kind of a big reveal, which was, and Rob, please pipe in here, but Michael Keaton Bats revealed for the Flash movie. What was up with this? Why are we doing this? We trying to get people to get excited about a movie that is still not even sure if it's happening. Ezra's in jail again.
Yeah,
so,
he just got arrested for the second time a few days ago.
This movie's cursed, man.
Yeah, so I wasn't even gonna talk about it because for all I know, it's just some guy who threw up a mock suit. So who even knows if it's real at this point? It's not even confirmed. But yeah, internet leak of Michael Keaton's new Batman suit and the new Nobody Wants Batgirl movie. And what a time to come back, huh? You're gonna come back for Batman 3, but you're gonna be a side character in a Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
But from what I see, I mean, I'm digging it. If it's real, it's so wild to me that he's balancing. We live in a time where he's balancing as a Marvel villain and Batman again. Like, wow, that's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting regardless. Wild to think that he donned the suit again after all these years.
But what I can see so far, I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, roping everything back together here, you can expect definitely a Hot Toys if this movie's released and it is a success. I most definitely see a 89 Keaton re-release, but obviously not really I'll take a shot. Not really a re-release because it's from this newer film. So yeah, exciting either way. It's always cool to get new bat teases. We're coming off such a high from the Batman now. Obviously, it was released on HBO Max this weekend, or actually this week on Monday. Did you happen to catch any glimpses of it on your giant 84-inch TV?
Like 77.
Yeah, 84, 77.
Yeah. No, I unfortunately do not have HBO Max, so I did not watch it.
Ooh, we're gonna have to change that. I did watch most of it. I'm currently watching it on an LG 2018 OLED C8, and it is, I hate to say it, but it definitely looks better than it did in the theater. And it doesn't take away from the theater. I just think because it's glass versus, a projection film silver screen, the colors just pop more. You see more detail, and it's definitely one hell of a movie. Sounds great. And for streaming, yeah, I mean, it looks really, really good. So I know our buddy Flick Pick was watching it for his first or fourth time yesterday. So I think people are excited about it. I'm glad it's in people's hands now. Kind of torn because, Rob, you can pop in here at any point, but there was always that like wait for that physical release. There was no such thing as streaming. So you were like anticipating, even going back to Blockbuster days, hey, maybe I could just rent it first, or, more currently, or, oh man, I'm going to go to Best Buy, make sure I grab the 4K release or the regular Blu-ray release, because I can't stream it. I mean, we go back as even as not too far as Dark Knight in the trilogy. I mean, there was releases for those movies inside of brick and mortar stores. Now now that's a thing of the past, but as cool as it is to have the ability to stream it, me personally, for my physical collection and just having that anticipation there, definitely is something that is well missed.
Yeah, definitely. It's just sign of the times, man. Especially it's the first time a Batman movie's been released that fast streaming. But also as well, I was just thinking about it yesterday. Think about it. When we were growing up, we had to wait like 6 months to like 8 months for a movie to come out on VHS. Yeah, that's how old we are. But just think about it, man. That movie came out in the beginning of March. It's already streaming, and it's already going to be on physical copy at the end of May. It's barely 2 months.
Yeah, the landscape of releasing, film is completely changed. Yeah, I mean, this is the new norm for movie releases. I think what they want to do is they want subscriptions, obviously, to their service. So they're going to release it on the digital. They're going to go theater, digital, and then physical, and I mean, we've talked about it before, but who knows how long physical lasts. We talked about earlier about how DVDs, why they're still making DVDs. I could see them just sunsetting physical media at one point altogether. I mean, look at CDs. How many? I mean, do we still have quite a few CDs coming out? I don't even know what a CD release window looks like anymore. I think Best Buy completely got rid of CDs, correct?
It's so sad. I went there 2 years ago and I asked the guy, "Where's your CDs at?" He goes, "Oh, we got a bin right there." What? That Best Buy was always my spot to go on release day and buy a new album, and just to have it be belittled into a bin of everything, it's just sad. But yeah, it's completely gone now. Even if you go there for movies, the ones they have now, I'm not even kidding you. It's one row, front to back. It's both like it's 4K in the front, and then Blu-ray, and then like on the back they have TV series and like anime, all in one rack. It's like, what the hell, man? It breaks my heart, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember going with you, excuse me, to Best Buy. We would just go up and down the aisles and see what movies, hey, maybe we didn't have for our collection at the time. And something that hits me is I used to go, like my dad used to love DVD releases or Blu-ray releases on Tuesdays, and we would go and he would pick up, oh yeah, we saw this in theater, this was good, and we would grab them, so I mean, you don't have that. You don't, I mean, what releases do you have anymore? I mean, like this one obviously is a big release with the Batman coming out, but I mean, I don't even go into Best Buy as much as I used to anymore. It's just, you go in there and it's even a little sad to go in there because it's like empty now. So moving forward with our show here, my friends, you recently got a statue that you had been waiting for a little bit, or DC Direct, I believe, had delayed it, if I'm not mistaken. You want to tell us a little bit about that and what it is?
God, what a nightmare. Yeah,
Sounds
so like
great.
2 years ago, DC Direct announced a Batman Who Laughs statue color version. They've had a black and white version released in the past. This color version is just another level. It's almost like McFarlane detail level. And, pre-orders were up, and then COVID happened. And then, everything that was collectibles or statues kind of suffered from that. And yeah, that was over 2 years ago. And so the image is pretty badass. It's just him stepping forward with his hand coming at you, and he's got like a club in the back that he's almost kind of ready to swing forward. Based off of Greg Capullo, of course, who we both love.
Oh, what a great man.
Right. And I met him at when Comic Cons were actually happening. I met him. Well, we both did in 2011. And he says, "Nice shirt." Because it was at the time, Famous Stars and Straps were making Spawn shirts. But then I met him at San Diego Comic Con. I bumped into him. He's just hanging out, just like around people. And I said, you get goofy and starstruck around people. And I said something like, "Yeah, I met you before." And he said, "Oh, nice shirt." And he's like, "Yeah, okay."
Sir, I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, he's super cool. And he let me take a photo with him. I can probably throw that up right here to show you. But anyway, I kind of digress. So the statue was delayed 2 years. And then I seen last year was up for pre-order again, but then you go to these websites and you kind of check at the pre-order numbers, like how many are left. And it says like 3 left, 1 left. And then like 2 weeks go by and it still says 1 left. And I'm like, I don't fucking believe you. I think this is a scam. And then at one point, Sideshow had it, and then it just got taken off. But anyway, so McFarlane took over the DC license January 2021, I believe. And as you can tell, like he's flooding the market with DC stuff. You can't get away from DC figures with him now. But I guess McFarlane took over or is assisting the DC Direct line. So he's actually going to help release this Batman Who Laughs statue. It's available on his website, off of Amazon and GameStop and all those other sites. But I pre-ordered it, and because they got me, right? They said 5,000 limited quantity. Like, shit, I'm not going to be able to get my hands on one of these. Because sure enough, I went on Amazon. They're gone. I went to McFarlane.com, which is a weird site as it is, just to make an account and stuff. But I got through it and I was able to pre-order on there. So I pre-ordered last month. I should get it in July. So it's a 1/6 scale. It's on a little, I wish I can show you. It's a companion piece to this Batman metal.
Yeah, that's the beauty of a statue too. And we're going to have pictures up in post-production here, folks. So you'll be able to see what exactly we're talking about when we talk about our collecting here.
It's got a little stand, and it'll be cool just to have that side by side. But yeah, can't wait to have that in my hands and finally have that in possession.
Well, we'll see. It says July. We're hopeful that it actually gets to you then, if not earlier. No, that's good. I'm happy to hear that McFarlane's kind of bumping up there to help them out. I was actually very confused as to why DC Direct was still making figures because of McFarlane. But if you said that they're in partnership, then that makes complete sense, because I was like, I mean, the McFarlane figures are just as good as DC Direct. Now, back in the day, like DC Direct figures were like, they collect your figure, so,
Yeah.
McFarlane's definitely upped his game with those figures. And I mean, even when I go into Target, or wherever, Walmart, and just looking at some of the figures that he's come out with, it's impressive. So props to him. And I guess since we're speaking on McFarlane, I'll go into what I got here for you. It's the 1/6 scale, the Batman gold label. Again, I'll try to show it here. I don't know if we can get it, but it is the 1/6 scale Batman figure statue. I guess they're labeling it, but it's the gold label because it is the original concept art by Jim Lee.
The black and red.
The black and red version, yes. So very, very impressive. The box, the way that they displayed in the box is epic. I'm more of a, man on card guy when it comes to it, because I think the art of the box is a very, very big piece. I do let some things breathe, but if it looks good in the box, I'm going to keep it that way. Because I feel like the art on the box is extremely important to the figure. So, yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful figure. It portrays the art from Jim Lee absolutely perfect. And I'm a huge Jim Lee fan. So as soon as I saw that it was, available and that they were going to release something like that, I had to grab it. They do also have two other versions, which is the regular standard black version, and then also a gold version. Not about the gold. I think, if you're dead on getting the whole entire set, I think that obviously it's definitely something that you're going to have to pick up, but I'm good with this one. And possibly if I stumble upon the regular version, that's something I may think about opening. They also do have the Riddler as well, in the 1/6 scale. And a lot of people are reviewing these statues and giving them rave reviews. They're really happy with the builds and how they turned out. So I'm happy to hear that. Again, the packaging is beautiful. And it's definitely an impressive piece. And then also, and we'll put up the pictures later on so you guys can see better details or give you links to where you can find one. I did also get the Batman, Lego Batman Batmobile, which is the full scale. 2 summers ago, I did the 89 Batmobile, and it turned out awesome, and it was really, really fun to do. So I ended up getting this one. I don't know when I'll get to build it, but yeah, again, impressive. I guess the engine kind of lights up. So pretty excited to do that. And, the Lego product are always impressive. They do a really good job. And even the Lego Batman movie was fantastic. So one more piece that I did get, which is kind of off the collecting piece, but I did start the Batman Prologue novel, which, to my surprise, I'm very, very impressed with so far. It's really a good read. It's quick chapters, which I do enjoy. And some of the notes I can go over real quick. So if people, they do kind of contain spoilers, but not really. Couple of notes that I just jotted down from where I'm at. So it definitely does take place well before the movie. And Bruce coming back from boarding school. And he's kind of rusty. I guess what he did before was he trained with Alfred Daly. He trains with Alfred on various fighting techniques since he was young. They go into that, and when he comes back from school, he actually spars with Alfred, and Alfred says, "Man, you're kind of rusty." So that's very cool. Throughout his childhood, he used the Batcave for chemical experiments. And he currently actually houses the Batmobile down there, which is a 1960s, which the way they describe it is a 60s or 70s vintage style muscle car. that he's been repairing for quite a few years now. And that's what his big thing that he's doing this summer, that this summer's happening in the book. And one cool little detail, which is very Batman, is he engineered a custom tool belt to hold all of his tools that he uses when he's working on the car. So he doesn't have to go back into his toolbox back and forth. So I thought that was cool. Basically, it was kind of like, a foreshadow for the Batman utility belts, which I thought was really, really cool. There is a female character that he's introduced to already, which is her name is Dorothy Alexander, Dax for short. And she is getting Bruce into illegal street racing with his muscle car right now, which is pretty cool. One of my favorite things in movies and or books is when characters that have a huge arc at some point in the story don't really know who they are and they meet each other. And that happened here with Edward Nygma, or the Riddler. And currently what his side job is to make money, is he delivers food for an Italian restaurant to save money for forensics college.
Nice.
So yeah,
that's probably why they call him at a diner.
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool details on kind of the history of the stories of these characters and how they come together. So as time goes on, I'll put some more in there and we can go over those. But I thought it was pretty interesting, and that world is very different from anything I think we've seen. So it's pretty cool to see how they're going to tie it all together. But we're going to move into our next segment here, which is our new segment called Batstalgia. And Rob, why don't you lead us off here? What are we going to talk about in Batstalgia today?
Well, before we even start, can I go back just for a second what you're talking about with your statue real fast?
Yeah, absolutely. My bad. Yeah.
No, this is something I caught and you probably caught as well, but it's a kind of cool nod of the hat. Did you realize why they made that red?
I don't believe so.
Because that 5 seconds in the movies and when he's at the club and there's red flashing on him.
Oh, okay.
So I believe that's where they got that from. So it's kind of like when you listen to an album and you kind of had like that moment of like, oh shit, so you're like, I was like halfway in the movie and they showed that. I'm like, oh, so that's why they used the red.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's funny. It's funny you bring that up, that whole scene. It's just like, I feel like lately Batman just always has to fight in a club.
Everybody forgets the Dark Knight club scene. Too.
Yeah, that's it. When he walked in there and started beating ass, I was like, dude, this is definitely a nod to Dark Knight, because when he goes in there and breaks what's his name's legs he's like, you won't kill me from here. I know, like, so great. That was definitely, in my opinion, a nod to that film, and just, it was actually a nod to that film and very Arkham-like too, because he grabs that pipe and just fucking throws it at the guy, which is awesome. So, all right, but yeah, no, appreciate you tying that all in there. That's a cool fact. If people didn't know that, I didn't know that, but it makes a lot of sense.
But what we're looking at today is the promotion for McDonald's.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through. Introducing McDonald's Superhero Burger. Tomatoes, crisp lettuce, the great taste of 2 cheeses melted over 3 beef patties on a superhero bun. It's McDonald's Taste of the Month everyone's making a break for.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
Well, what I really love the most, and I'm not sure if you still have any, is the glasses.
Beneath the Gotham City McDonald's, the time has come for the Gotham Glassware Collection. Get all your favorite characters from the movie Batman Forever, including Batman himself and the Riddler, chiseled in high-quality glass. Take a break at McDonald's and collect all 4, just 99 cents each when you buy any McDonald's Extra Value Meal or any other food purchase.
Here you are, sir. Batman.
Now I've got him!
Do you still have your glasses, Vern?
Yeah, they are at my mom's house. We still have them. Yeah. And you can find them on eBay for a decent price, which is very surprising to me. You figured after all this time, there would be less and less out there, but people are still trying to get rid of them for a decent price if you wanted the whole collection or try to gather the collection.
I used to have all of them, but for one reason or another, they all just broke or disappeared. So there's actually 4 glasses that came out. And think about this. The time was 1995, correct?
That is, yeah, I believe that's right. Yep, 95.
95. And for a glass, an actual glass, all McDonald wanted was 99 cents for a glass. That's amazing, right? Compared to
so great.
Where we at today, and it costs like $25 for a damn popcorn bucket.
Yep.
It's just tin. But the 4 cups we have are the 4 characters from the movie. We have Batman, Robin, and then Two-Face and Riddler. The Batman stands taller, and I believe I can't make out the one in the back.
Robin.
Robin?
Yeah. Batman and Robin stand tall, and then the enemies or the villains are just the lower, almost coffee cup like.
Yeah. And they're fully specced out, detailed. I believe anything like this would go for $20 easy if it was sold on the market today. But this is all I used to drink out of, everything. Kool-Aid, chocolate milk, man, you name it. This was the time to be. And I miss it. I really do. I wish they would do more stuff like this today.
It really, I mean, yeah, growing up as a kid with these Batman movies coming out and having promotions like this, it really was like, I mean, even looking at the picture of the superhero meal, which is that 3-patty burger. I mean, I remember my mom used to pick me up from school and she would take me to McDonald's and I'd get this meal, and hopefully there was one of the new cups out and we'd get the new cup, but and this actually in cinemas everywhere, July 14th. So, I mean, I was probably out of school eating these, watching, Batman 89 at the time, it's, you can't I don't know. It's definitely something that is missed. And I wish that it could be felt, by current gen, children, because it's just not, the hype isn't there anymore. Things aren't advertised like they were before. And yeah, man, I mean, Batman Forever cup, just the basic cup that you would have your drink in, orange high C, from McDonald's, you'd have that in with like a regular plastic Batman cup, but it was a Batman cup, everything, the fries. I mean, the art boxes on the fries, dude, and the bags, like you said, colorful. I mean, it was just like you were completely indulged in that movie before it even came out. You know what I mean? Like you just, yeah, it was a great time to experience that, and it's definitely very, very missed. And going back, you said Little Caesars, and we had talked about it, but I mean, the pizza actually wasn't half bad. And it was pretty cool to see something like that. But I mean, yeah, these McDonald's went all out. They had the toys, they had the cups, the glass, they had the glasses, they had the regular cups, they had the fries, they had the bags. I mean, they had the commercials, and just different times, man. But it
was just cinema back then was larger than life, and it's just like now, okay, turn on my TV and it's there. But they'd build on hype to get you to go see the movie is what it was, and it worked, and it still resonates today. Dude, even just looking at this meal, look.
Yeah.
A burger, a drink, and a fry. $2.
$2, yeah.
Jesus.
And
man,
it's got the marketing on it, the Riddler question mark with the bat logo in the center, like the bat symbol. I mean, it's so brilliant, so well marketed, Yeah, dude. This is a great marketing campaign by the studio and obviously McDonald's.
Hashtag bring it back.
Bring it back, right? So yeah, folks, we'd love to hear comments if you have any on some of your favorite Batman memories, and if it sparks interest on us or any memories, we'd like to talk about it on the show in the future here. So please definitely let us know if you have ideas. But this one was one that I think we both talked about in the past, and it hit us, it hit different because we do. I mean, those cups were I mean, even going back to even like the, do you remember like the sports cards, like the Team USA sports cards, which it was a sheet of sports cards that you used to get when you went to McDonald's? Like stuff like that was just like, looking back was just like off the chain. Like, yeah, you wrecked the crap out of the cards, but it was still cool to just go and grab them and like, oh man. Yeah. None of that is around anymore.
Do you even sell toys there anymore?
I think they do. They do still have Happy Meals, but yeah, I mean, even look at the Beanie Baby craze. Remember when the Beanie Baby craze hit and McDonald's had the Beanie Babies?
Beanie Babies and Furbies.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that used to be like, if there was a big license out there, McDonald's used to grab it and you would have an opportunity to be able to, get McDonald's and then, enjoy your favorite, license with it. So, and finally, this is a very kind of quick little segment here where it's called Batpedia. So week by week, we're just going to talk about a fun fact that we found based on Batman. And this week, the fun fact is, Rob, I don't know if you know this, I didn't know this, but the role of Batman in 1989 was actually offered to various other stars prior to Michael Keaton, including Pierce Brosnan, who couldn't play the part due to his opinion of the clad hero himself, Batman. So I guess Pierce was not a big fan of the bats, so he did not take the role. What do you think of that?
You missed out, pal.
Isn't it so weird how stuff like that happens? Like this guy passed and you can never imagine anybody else playing Batman in that movie, Yeah.
That's wild. I never knew that until right now. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to continue to do that, right before we close out the show. But I figure that if we could find some crazy ones, it'd be cool to share. And hopefully it educates some of you on things about the bats that we never knew about. So, yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see and maybe dig deeper on who maybe the other actors are that were, offered the role. And we see that in every single iteration of Batman. There's always been a couple of actors that, were supposed to be that role or that Batman, but, conflict of schedule or they just didn't take it. So always interesting.
I got a little one real fast that I can share real fast. I imagine true Bat fanatics know this, but some people don't. So that in the scene of the Dark Knight and on Lower Wacker, when Batman's going after Harvey in the police car. So the whole scene is filmed on Lower Wacker.
Well, this is definitely Lower Wacker Drive.
Particular when Batman rams the truck into the roof, that was all toy models.
Element in the car chase that Chris Corwell just told me he absolutely couldn't do for real because of the logistics of the Lower Wacker location was the Batmobile going head on into the garbage truck, which we wanted to do in a very straightforward manner, and I wanted it to feel very real, very gritty. But Nick Davis and his guys were able to do this with miniatures.
And from the first movie, we had a 1/3 scale remote control tumbler, and we had all of the molds. So this time we used a company in Los Angeles, New Deal Studios, to build us some new 1/3 scale tumblers, and also build us a 1/3 scale garbage truck. And they built this on a 140-foot long stretch of 1/3 scale miniature Lower Wacker set. Underneath it was a rod system, which basically enabled us to travel the garbage truck and the tumbler in exact speeds that we could predetermine down the length of the set, and then we could smash together. At the same time, we also wanted our taking cameras to match the way that we'd shot a lot of the car chase.
And they photographed it with the same exposures we'd had down below, which is slightly underexposed because we were having to use available light on the real location. So rather than overlighting the model, they actually really matched the way in which we shot the sequence by pushing the film a stop and very slightly underexposing the film. I think they were able to get something that cuts in very, very well with the full-scale footage.
I believe I did know that. The reason I say that is because Nolan has always been a guy that uses toy models versus CGI. So I thought there was some sort of behind the scenes that he talked about that. I could be wrong though, but I mean, either way, that's really, really cool. I mean, because it looks like you're legit there and it's like to scale.
Yeah. I didn't realize that till like a year or so ago. I'm like, holy shit, those are models.
Yeah. What else did he use?
The rises, right, with the plane
With
in
the
the
bomb,
beginning,
right? Yeah, there's a lot where he uses the toys, and it's really, really insane to have, you know, these 6-inch figure, to scale like cities, for Batman. He's got a little McFarlane Batman figure in the Bat Pod or something, going around. I mean, it's really cool to think about.
Now, my question is, when he filmed that scene with the Batmobile hitting the truck, did he actually have a Batman figure inside?
That is a great question. Maybe one day if things ever pick up, we can have him on here and ask that, because that would be amazing if he did. And if so, which one?
Yeah.
Was it just I'm trying to think of who had the license for that movie, but I know I had quite a few figures. Was it Mattel? Might have been Mattel at the time that had the license for the Dark Knight figures. Those were interesting figures too, because they were more cartoony. Like the Joker, he looked like Heath, but he looked like a cartoon version of Heath, which I didn't mind. Thought it was interesting. I don't know if I have those anymore. They might be somewhere, but
I got one in my closet. I was thinking about selling it.
Display it. But no, that's a fun fact. So yeah, we're gonna continue with this, week by week, and you're gonna, have some different segments from us as we grow here and try to see what works, what doesn't. But we appreciate your time. I think this kind of wraps the episode up for us. Rob, do you have anything in closing that you'd like to say?
I just want to say that thanks again for tuning in, and we look forward to hearing from you guys again, and spread word of mouth, and we continue to grow and see where we can go from here.
And as always, folks, remember to like and subscribe to hear more about all things Batman, because when that bell notification hits,
it's not just a conversation.
It's a podcast. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.